some kind of 2022 background or something on, but
It looks like you got the confetti still going.
yeah. We appreciate everybody joining us for the first cute session of 2022. I think this will be, if you're keeping score on the YouTube playlist, this is like episode 44 or something like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So glad everybody's here today. Champions using teams effectively. As always, this is for you. It's really office hours for you to come and ask any kind of questions you want. You got me, you got Stacy. Nash can't make it today, but he's also part of our Three Amigos team here. But yeah, this is for you. So feel free to either use chat or come off mute if you got any questions. But yeah, we can just go ahead and jump right in. I'm sure Stacy and I probably come up with something if you got nothing. But anybody got anything burning they wanted to start us off with?
I'm sure you're tired of the question, but do you have a timeline on the Teams webinar?
I do not. I think there was an update. Let me look and see yesterday. I think I have some language I can share. Let me double check here.
Okay. I looked, but maybe it was a couple days ago and there was nothing new. It still said December, but it was on hold.
Yeah, let me check.
I see someone put Christiane. Okay, more on Mesh when it would be available for GCC. Yeah, that I don't know. I haven't heard. I mean, that's like super brand new. I haven't heard much about that from a GCC perspective.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going through the chat here. I help on breakout rooms. Organizer elevates presenter to organizer to manipulate breakout rooms and recording. So you're talking about the steps of turning a presenter into an organizer to help with breakout rooms. Is that what you're mentioning there, Glenn?
Yes, the situation that we have in our organization is that some, like clerical person will set up the breakout rooms with external applicants. Well, they can't set up the breakout rooms in advance of the meeting yet because that function was, you said it broken, was withdrawn and may be restored to GCC at the end of January. But what they want to do is the clerical staff person sets up the meeting, but then they don't host the meeting. A trainer or recruiter or presenter hosts the meeting. So they get in the meeting with the external applicants and they're unable to manipulate the breakout rooms because they're not the organizer. So we thought, oh, this is really wonderful when we found out that, the organizer can elevate presenters to organizer so that a clerical person can organize the meeting and then the recruiter or trainer can be elevated from presenter to organizer and actually host the meeting and manipulate the breakout rooms in the meeting. But I think you showed that to us once, but we've been unable to do it. So either our organization doesn't have that function yet from GCC or we're not doing it right. If you could walk us through that again, we would appreciate it. How a organizer can elevate presenters to organizer status so they can manipulate the breakout rooms in the meeting.
Yeah, I think we did talk about that last time. I wonder, Stacy, you think that's new enough that maybe it still hasn't rolled out to everyone? I don't know if we got confirmation of a completion of that kind of waved rollout.
Let me double check what we're talking about because I was typing and I may have missed which exact feature. Are we talking about having a presenter be assigned as a breakout room co-creator?
Yeah.
Okay. Gosh.
Yes, because we were already told that
it's not out yet.
Being able to set up the breakout rooms in advance of the start of the meeting was rolled out and broke and was withdrawn, and that it might be fixed by the end of January. But what we're trying to do right now is elevate a presenter to organizer to manipulate the breakout rooms within the meeting, and we've been unable to do that.
Okay, let's, yep, you're doing it right there. I can't imagine that it's not completed with rollout. I had not heard that there's still some tenants who haven't received that feature. So when you log in and do exactly what,
All right. Yeah, I was going to ask, are you even getting this
Yes.
this menu and the gearbox and this button here?
Yes.
Okay. Are you then seeing this, and is this where the problem is?
Yes.
Okay. So go to meeting options to add one. So in this particular case, I have added just now, if I'm in the right meeting, a user, Bob. Now, Bob hasn't accepted it yet, so let me see if that does something here. So if we go here, it goes to probably to calendar. But is this the right meeting? So well, let's join for one. See where I'm kind of losing track of where I am. Okay, continue in this browser. So I'm having Bob join the meeting. Let's see if just joining alone gets me there.
so Lori, you saw this same issue in your tenant and had to create a case?
We had a number of meeting issues. We ended up opening up 5 different cases. No title was a problem in our tenant. We had issues with losing access to the Teams chat once the meeting ended because we all joined temporarily. This was another issue with the presenter, and the others invited was missing in the list of when you looked at your participants, we didn't have others invited. And it turns out a bug was introduced into our tenants sometime in December, and we got fixed on January 3rd at 6 p.m. But a number of problems hit our meetings. All of our meetings were broken.
Okay.
But the fix also corrected the issue that's being looked at now with the
breakout rooms.
The breakout rooms, yes.
Okay.
Assigned presenters to manage the rooms was inconsistent. Sometimes the name appeared and other times it didn't. So you may want to reference that case number I put in.
Yeah,
All right,
Glenn,
so-
have you opened a case? Sorry,
I'm
Glenn,
sorry.
have you opened a case about this?
No, we have not. We wanted to determine first if we're taking the correct steps or not.
Of course. Okay.
But it sounds, from what I'm hearing, it sounds like at least in one case, there was a bug or something was up, right? It wasn't just not rolled out. Something was up. It was tweaked, and now it's working. I mean, that's hopeful to me, right?
Well, I hope not, because you don't want those bugs, because it really impacted. We're a unit of about 25,000 users.
Yeah.
And now we have to worry about getting all those meeting invites deleted and resent in order to correct all the issues.
Mhm.
But yeah, you're seeing exactly what we saw.
Okay.
And the other thing, if you scroll down, what I thought was very odd is let people return to the main meeting. That is off by default.
Mhm.
And that just seems counterintuitive. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah, my thought would be that's consistent with I guess, version 1 of breakout rooms, right? That they were not able to just go back to the main room. Isn't that right? So now this is giving you that option, but off by default would be the behavior that you're used to in theory, I guess. So let's see. So Bob's in here as a presenter, and
Right.
but you're right. It's still, and it lets me assign them, but in terms of letting me assign them to manage the room from.
Yeah, I, I think, Glenn, if I were in your shoes, I'd go ahead and open that ticket, especially now that you have the one from Lori that you can reference, so that your support team can take a look at that.
Okay, thank you. This is another one of those roadmap things, and we understand that the roadmap is advisory. It's not written in stone, but I'm trying to think why we thought this was rolled out to us. I don't know if you announced that in a previous meeting or where I got that from, but I thought.
We demoed it here from a GCC tenant, for sure.
Oh,
yeah.
Right. Okay. Thank you. So, okay, so we will we'll open a ticket on that then. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, don't you think so, Ricardo? I know you're seeing similar behavior today in your tenant, and we can certainly raise an issue internally as well. But I think if Lori had some success by going through the case process, and that case references whatever the fix was in her case, I think that could help your tenant get the attention it needs faster. And like I said, it will raise the issue internally too. I haven't looked in my tenant yet to see if I'm having the same behavior, Ricardo. I could do that just as a kind of an added check. I can do that in the background here so we can report up that we're seeing it in multiple tenants, I guess.
Yeah.
For what it's worth. Yeah, it's like not recognizing that you have added him as a presenter.
Right. But to your point, I'm almost sure, and obviously go check the tape.
Bob Wiley's internal, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I do feel like we did this at least once on a previous session.
Yeah, I think we could go find that video right now.
Right.
It's vivid in my mind that we demoed this for Glenn in particular.
Yeah, you showed
the last one, but a few weeks ago, or a few episodes ago.
You showed it to us, and then we tried to duplicate that in our organization, and I couldn't. And so that's why I was asking you again today, did I make a misstep? But it sounds like I didn't. It sounds like there's a problem.
Yeah, I mean, if you're getting to the point where Ricardo is right now, you both have done exactly what needs to be done. And it's just not showing that presenter or your list of presenters that you could choose from, which is not expected behavior.
Channel meetings. Is this a channel meeting that I've got? I wonder. It is a channel meeting. So I don't know, Glenn, if yours was a channel meeting or not, but as I'm sitting here looking at it, this is actually calling out. This can't be done for channel meetings. This takes me to learn more. So we could actually try this again with a regular.
Do that. Yes, I didn't realize it was a channel meeting either.
Let's do a regular one. So no channel. No channel. And I'll add Bob again. And we'll hit, should be all I need. We'll hit send. We will get out of this one and get Bob out of it. Then we'll have Bob join this new one. May not even, actually, before he joins, let me just see if it even needs him to join now that we're not a channel meeting. So I'll go in here.
I think this is going to.
And so in this case, oops, just make this bigger. We'll go manual just to get to. That gets me to here. Gets me to here and search for presenters. There's Bob. So in this particular case, it was the channel meeting that was the problem, and it appears to be by design in this case because they even had the messaging there for me. But it is working for me for a non-channel meeting, even though Bob hasn't even recognized he's gotten the invite yet. He was invited, and thus he is a available presenter to be, to manage.
Okay, Glenn, so don't open that case until you test it in a regular meeting.
Okay, thank you.
I'm
my
really
other question,
glad you noticed that.
I know other people have questions. My less important question, the breakout rooms was the more important question. Less important question is if you could walk us through the steps to record.
To record a meeting?
Yeah.
Yep, so that's your handy dandy 3 dots here, and start recording.
Okay.
It's right there.
And it sends the banner out to all your audience so they're aware they're being recorded or the meeting itself is being recorded. It lights up that transcript on the side as well, which you can just close if you are very distracted in your meetings like I am. I have a hard time when that panel is up because it's so active.
And then over in chat, I think you'll already see, recording has started there.
Okay.
And then if you were to then stop the recording, which you can do at any time, you could actually do multiple recordings in a meeting, but let's say we stop this recording. So get the banner. If I go back over here, we'll see recording stopped and it's saving. And since that was so short, it should be a few seconds, and then we should see, there we go.
Will you pull the meeting back up since we just talked through that? And Glenn, interrupt me if you have any questions. We'll push pause. But I want to mention, and it's been a while since we've mentioned end a meeting versus leave a meeting. And ending a meeting is going to automatically stop that recording as well. If you have folks who might have stepped away to take a phone call, or they've got multiple things going on and they haven't come back to leave the meeting, and they hang out after everybody's done talking, it will keep that recording going as long as people are in the meeting. So if you don't want to have to trim a recording later, as an organizer, when your meeting is done, you can do the drop down, click end meeting, and that's going to stop your recording instead of letting it linger if people don't hang up.
Yeah, stops recording and kicks everyone out.
Right.
They certainly come back in, but yeah, that's going to save you from that 4-hour meeting recording that has 3 hours of silence in it.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. Good.
And then, and if you guys are new to recordings, then also you're kind of noticing here that this has been recorded in Ricardo's OneDrive, and as a result, and kind of unlike when it used to be in Stream, you've got obviously a download button, copy link, but also a share button. So it's going to be shared already with Bob and so forth, but which I think is even confirmed there. But now I can also share this with others, including external participants, by using the standard share button there to get some added value.
Cool
stuff.
I'm curious, Ricardo, did you have anything you wanted to kind of talk to? If not, I'll plug the /who and /org in
Yes.
Teams.
Let's go for that.
Well, would you mind, since you're already sharing your screen, just doing a quick demo? So I'm curious of the group here, if anyone, and you guys can just raise hand or you can come off mute, if you know that you have available in Teams a who prompt where you can type a fellow colleague's name and get some information about them right here in Teams, you're able to have, oh, yep, it's going to do it that because this is the first time you've done it, I guess, here in this tenant. It's going to bring back some results just by clicking who is Bob, and you can get some people there to check out their profile, find out where they are. You can see the information that's in the Active Directory that your tenant uses. And if there were supervisors recorded in, author of Death Therapy.
That's his book. This is, I don't know if anyone else is a fan of What About Bob, the movie. That's
Right.
who Bob Wiley is.
Of course. But if supervisor information was in there for Bob, his org chart would display. The other one you can do to see even more of the org chart options, which won't be helpful in your tenant since you don't have any of the supervisor stuff in your Azure AD. You can do /org in the search box and have the ability to go straight to the org chart for any person that you're able to bring up. Again, in his tenant and in my tenant too, I haven't set that information up, but it would render. It looks like Lori was familiar with this. That's great. I just think, especially in larger agencies, it's really helpful to have that that way to check out who's out there. Oh, Lori, please feel free to bring out your questions that you brought today.
In the meeting policy where we have recording and transcription and we can set the automatic expire. I know in GCC, we're supposed to have a new field that lets us set a date. So we can go make a change. So it's not just the 60-day standard default. Is there anything we need to do to see that? Because we still do not have it. And I'm going to put a screenshot in here.
I know that they were talking about updating. I know I saw an MC post, a message.
That's what we have. And I know there's supposed to be another field underneath meetings automatically expire. So we can actually set the number of days we want. I'm just wondering why we don't have it yet. And I know it takes forever to hit every tenant, but I just want to make sure there's nothing we need to manually do, run some sort of PowerShell script to get that new field available for us.
Okay, I'm looking at the MC post now just to validate myself. Let's see.
Is this a screenshot from your?
That's from me. That's from our tenants.
Okay.
And I'm going to see if I can find what I'm hoping to see.
Is this a?
There we go. I found it.
Okay.
This was from a Microsoft document.
Gotcha.
And this is the document we pulled it from.
Okay. So we're just wondering if that.
Right. Is there anything we need to do to have the default expiration time field available to us? Or should one day it should just automatically appear?
So I'm looking at the MC post that was last updated on November the 11th, this past November. And it says, we have updated this post with guidance on how to take preemptive action, which is what you're asking about. We are not turning on the auto expiration feature yet. So if they're not turning that on, now I'm scrolling through to just see what the guidance was for admins. One moment.
That at least explains why you're not seeing it, right?
Right.
Is it possible we need to run this command?
That's what I am trying to determine. I think what I'd like to do is validate this with my Teams PM contact because it has been recently updated and I just want to be certain that I give you the proper instruction here. Let's see.
Do you want my email?
I do, but I think, let's see.
You work with one of my
Switch gears here.
coworkers, Sean Smith. So I'm with the Federal Reserve. So we're just a pain in your butt.
Not at all. Okay, thanks for the email, Lori. Let me double check. I don't want to advise you wrong, and there was a lot of
Thanks.
information in that MC post that I want to comb through and get at least my understanding where I think is probably aligned with yours, and then talk to my team's PM and make sure that we both understand properly. So I will follow up with you
Thank you.
after I'm able to have that conversation.
Awesome. Any other hot topics out there? I'm checking through the chat. I don't know if we missed it. If we did miss something from the chat, feel free to call that out. But I think we got everything. Chat.
And did I see correctly? There's a Saturday session with you, Ricardo?
Yeah, so I like to wake up in the morning with a cup of coffee and then just fire up a live stream and talk about chat. So I mean about Teams. So yeah, I've been doing them semi consistently, like around 11:30 Eastern on
Nice.
Saturdays. So when if you're a pure geek like me that wants to grab a cup of coffee and talk about Teams on a Saturday morning, then yes, I have been live streaming it on LinkedIn, YouTube, simultaneously live streaming LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and I think I'm going to add Twitch to that as well. So,
Awesome.
so yeah, be looking out for that. I guess. Let me type it in here. I just the best way maybe to keep up with that is the YouTube channel or my Teamwork Cowbell. But so yeah, you got www.teamworkcowbell.com and then youtube.com/teamworkcowbell. So I haven't gotten my system down for like how to publish that out well. So that's why I'm kind of just saying, hit either of these up to see where that link is. I think once I go live, YouTube, lights up and so forth. So yeah, but yeah, if you want to, I'm happy to take questions on Saturday too. Otherwise, I just talk to myself.
Beautiful.
Yeah, good deal. Well, it's good to see everybody again in 2022. We keep this rolling through the year, and hope we continue to add value for you to it. If you got any feedback on what we're doing, what we could be doing better, anything, hit us up. I think between myself, Stacy, and Nash, most folks on this call, have a way to contact us. If you're new, hit us up, I guess, on either YouTube or Teamwork Cowbell. You can find a way to get us to LinkedIn, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, let us know. We're happy to tweak the format if something works better for you. So with that, I think we'll see you guys next week, 11 a.m. Eastern.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you. Have a good day.
weekend.
Too.